Hello, and welcome back to People Skills. Today, we need to talk about one of the most painful, confusing, and cowardly weapons used in psychological warfare, the silent treatment. We've all felt its chilling effect. You're in a relationship with someone, a partner, a friend, a family member. There's a disagreement, or perhaps you do something they disapprove of. And then, suddenly, they are gone. They don't yell, they don't argue. They simply vanish. They stop responding to your texts. They walk past you as if you are a ghost. They treat you like you do not exist. You are plunged into a state of profound anxiety and confusion. What did I do wrong? Are they okay? Are they ever going to speak to me again? You find yourself replaying every recent interaction, desperately searching for a clue. The silence is not empty. It is deafening. It is filled with your own self-doubt, your own guilt, and your own fear. Many people mistake this behavior for a simple need for space or an inability to communicate. But we must be very clear. The silent treatment is not a communication problem. It is a communication strategy. It is not a sign of weakness. It is a weapon of control. It is not a request for peace. It is a declaration of war. Today, we are going to expose this tactic for what it is. We will do a deep dive into the psychology of the silent treatment. We will explore the strategic objectives of the person who uses it, and we will give you a powerful, counterintuitive framework for how to respond when this weapon is used against you. This is your guide to surviving a Cold War of the soul. The core principle: needing space versus the silent treatment. Before we go any further, we must draw a clear, bright line between a healthy request for space and the abusive silent treatment. They are not the same thing. Needing space, a healthy tactic. This is a mature communication strategy. A person feels overwhelmed or angry and needs time to process their emotions before they say something they regret. They will communicate this directly. They will say, "I'm feeling really upset right now, and I need a few hours to cool down. Let's talk about this tonight." This is respectful. It has a stated purpose, to cool down, and a timeline, tonight. It is about de-escalating conflict. The silent treatment, a manipulative weapon. This is a punitive act of withdrawal. There is no communication, no stated purpose, and no timeline. The silence is a punishment designed to make the target feel anxious, guilty, and desperate. It is not about de-escalating conflict. It is about winning the conflict by creating psychological distress in the other person. If someone tells you they need space, respect it. If someone punishes you with silence, you must recognize it as the declaration of war that it is. The psychology of the weapon. Why silence is so powerful. The silent treatment is a form of emotional abuse, and it is incredibly effective because it hijacks our deepest, most primal human fears. The fear of ostracism. As social creatures, our survival has always depended on being part of a tribe. Being ostracized or cast out was historically a death sentence. The silent treatment triggers this deep, primal fear. It makes us feel invisible and worthless, as if our very existence has been erased. The pain of uncertainty. The human brain craves certainty and closure. The silence creates a vacuum of information. You don't know what you did wrong, how to fix it, or when the punishment will end. This uncertainty creates a state of intense anxiety, and your brain will do almost anything to resolve it, including taking the blame for things you didn't do. It gives the abuser total control, While you are in a state of emotional turmoil, the person giving the silent treatment feels powerful. They are the one who holds all the cards. They get to decide when the punishment ends. They are in a position of complete control, which is often the primary goal of a manipulator. The 3 strategic objectives of the silent treatment. A person who uses this weapon is trying to achieve one of 3 things. Objective number 1, to punish you for a perceived transgression. You did something they didn't like. You set a boundary. You disagreed with them. You didn't give them the attention they wanted. Instead of communicating their displeasure like an adult, they punish you like a child. The silence is your spanking. It is designed to teach you a lesson and ensure you never cross them again. Objective number 2, to evade accountability for their own bad behavior. This is a classic deflection tactic. You try to hold them accountable for something they did wrong. You say, "It really hurt my feelings when you said that." They cannot handle the shame or responsibility of this confrontation, so they shut down. The silence immediately shifts the focus. The conversation is no longer about their bad behavior, it is now about their silence. You forget what you were upset about and become consumed with trying to get them to talk to you again. It is a masterful, if cowardly, way to evade all responsibility. Objective number 3, to create desperation and force capitulation. This is the ultimate goal. The psychological distress caused by the silence is so intense that the target will eventually break. They will apologize profusely, often for things they didn't even do. They will beg for forgiveness. They will promise to do anything to make the silence stop. The moment you do this, the manipulator has won. They have successfully used your emotional pain to control your behavior and reestablish their dominance in the relationship. The action plan: how to respond to a declaration of war. When you recognize that you are being given the silent treatment, you must understand that you are under psychological attack. Your response must be strategic, calm, and focused on self-preservation. Step 1. Correctly identify the tactic. The first step is to see the silence for what it is. Say to yourself, "This is not a misunderstanding. This is a deliberate, manipulative tactic. This is the silent treatment." This act of naming it prevents you from falling into the trap of self-blame. Step 2. Do not engage in the chase, the cardinal rule. Every instinct you have will be to chase them, to send a barrage of texts. "What's wrong? Are you okay? Please talk to me. I'm sorry for whatever I did." You must resist this urge with every fiber of your being. Every attempt you make to break the silence is a reward for their bad behavior. It shows them that the tactic is working. It feeds their sense of power and control. Chasing them is like pouring fuel on the fire of their manipulation. Step 3. The enjoy the peace method. This is the most powerful and counterintuitive strategy. The silent treatment is a weapon designed to create anxiety in you. The only way to disarm it is to show that it has no effect on your emotional state. Live your life. Do not put your life on hold. Go to the gym, see your friends, work on your projects, post pictures on social media of you having a good time. Be happy. Your happiness is a form of defiance. When the manipulator sees that their silence is not making you miserable, but is instead giving you peace, the weapon becomes useless. They are punishing you, but you are not feeling punished. This drives them crazy because it robs them of their power. Step 4. The one-and-done message. Optional. If you feel you must say something, you get one message. It should not be an apology. It should be a calm, confident statement of fact. Example: I can see that you are not willing to communicate with me right now. I don't engage in the silent treatment. When you are ready to talk about this respectfully, you know where to find me. This message does 3 things. It names the tactic, It states your boundary, and it places the responsibility for re-engagement entirely on them. Then you go back to step 3 and live your life. Step 5. Set the boundary upon their return. Inevitably, when they see their silence isn't working, they will return. They will often act as if nothing happened. You cannot allow this. You must address the behavior, not to start a fight, but to establish a new rule for the relationship. Them. Hey, what's up? You. I'm happy to talk, but first we need to address what happened. When you shut down and refuse to speak to me for days, that is not a healthy or respectful way to handle conflict. It's not something I'm willing to accept in a relationship. If we're going to move forward, we need to agree to communicate directly, even when it's difficult. This is not a negotiation. It is you stating your terms. A healthy person will respect this. A manipulator will likely get defensive or try to gaslight you, which gives you all the information you need about whether this is a relationship worth saving. So, let's bring this all together. The silent treatment is not a passive act. It is an active form of emotional violence. It is a weapon of control, a tool for punishment, and a tactic of a coward. It is a declaration of war on your peace of mind. You cannot win this war by fighting on their terms. You cannot win by chasing, by pleading, or by apologizing for things you didn't do. You win by refusing to play. You win by recognizing the tactic for what it is. You win by living your life with joy and purpose, demonstrating that your emotional state is not in their hands. You win by calmly and confidently establishing a boundary that says, "My peace is more important than your game." When you learn to see the silent treatment not as a reflection of your worth, but as a confession of their character, you take back all of your power. You are no longer a victim of their silence. You are the guardian of your own. If you found this guide helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to People Skills Pro for more practical advice on navigating the complexities of human relationships. Thank you for listening.